Look at what's happening in Yemen as a direct result of Saudi Arabia and the policies that we support. More than 859 people die from cholera as U.S.-backed war continues. So this is from Democracy Now! They say, in Yemen, a civilian is dying nearly every hour from a massive cholera outbreak as the ongoing U.S.-backed Saudi-led bombing campaign and naval blockade has devastated the country's health, sanitation, and water systems. The World Health Organization says cholera has now killed at least 859 people. More than 100,000 people are infected. This is the health ministry spokesperson Abdel Hakim Al-Kalani. Quote, the ministry had to announce the state of emergency. The ministry announced that it is powerless in facing this epidemic on its own and that we need international support and international organizations to aid in combating this epidemic. Okay. So for those of you who don't know the details of what's going on in Yemen, it's mostly because Western media is ignoring it. But in Yemen, over 10,000 people have died because of a Saudi bombing campaign. So Saudi Arabia wants their Sunni leader back in power in Yemen. Now it's a Shia government, and so they're just bombing everything in sight. There's reports of them bombing mosques, hospitals, open-air markets, schools, a school for the blind they bombed. They're using illegal munitions, including cluster bombs, which kill civilians all the time, and they linger after the fact and blow up later on. So you're not allowed to use them, but they're using them, and we're selling them to them. Many women and children have died. By some counts, up to 50% of the people dead are civilians. So, man, it's horrible. Now, on top of that, you think that's bad. That is bad enough. And by the way, we're also not just arming them and everything. We're also helping them with coordinates in their bombing campaigns. So we're totally an accomplice to all this stuff. But also, Saudi Arabia is doing a blockade of Yemen. So they're keeping out aid, medicine, food. And as a result of that, at least 14 million people are starving. And now there's a cholera outbreak and people are dying of cholera. Noam Chomsky has a famous quote. He says, you want to stop terrorism? There's an easy way to stop terrorism. Stop participating in it. So you want to stop terrorism? Stop arming Saudi Arabia. Stop letting them get away with war crimes. Stop aiding them and abetting them in doing that. Just stop. That's it. That's all you have to do. But no, business as usual. The status quo overrides everything. Oil overrides everything. And this is the point where we're at. And then they're going to pretend like, whoa, what's Syria? We care about the dying civilians in Syria so much. Well, how about you care about the dying civilians in Yemen who you are aiding and killing? In Syria, you know, if you just stay out of there, you're not aiding and killing anybody. It's a civil war going on. Why would you fucking get involved in a civil war? You're not third party unnecessarily. So instead of feigning concern for civilians in Syria, how about you actually have concern for the civilians in Yemen who you're taking part in killing and starving? It's pathetic, man. It's pathetic. And we all sit around and then the U.S. pretends all the time, oh, we have freedom and democracy and we're the world police and we care about human rights and altruism, which is why we aid Saudi Arabia in massacring kids and women and starving people to death and bombing hospitals.